What if the key to changing your life wasn't another goal, but a decision? Not a wish, not a plan, a decision. The kind that echoes through eternity. The kind that shifts your mindset so radically, even God leans in. And what if you could borrow wisdom from Abraham Lincoln, King Solomon, Anne Frank, and 7 of the wisest people in history, all in one miraculous week? Welcome to The Traveler's Gift by Andy Andrews. It's a story about a man who hits rock bottom, then receives a divine invitation to rewrite his future. But the twist, you're that man. And every decision he makes could be yours today. This isn't fiction, it's a mirror. And if you're ready to step into your calling, face down fear, and finally build something that lasts, this book holds 7 keys that will wreck your excuses and awaken your purpose. And here's what makes this recap different. We're not just reviewing The Traveler's Gift, we're extracting its core truths through a biblical lens. So whether you're leading a business, raising a family, or trying to break generational chains, these 7 decisions will help you do it with faith, fire, and unshakable clarity. But first, who's the man behind this message? Meet David Ponder. David Ponder is a broken man, middle-aged, recently fired, drowning in debt, and wondering if his life insurance is worth more than his life. His daughter needs some medical help. His wife is exhausted, and David's lost his grip on hope. Then, a literal crash. But instead of death, David wakes up on a mysterious journey through time, meeting 7 of the greatest minds and hearts in human history. Each one gives him a decision for success, a principle so clear, so confrontational, that it shakes him to his core. But these aren't self-help cliches. They're soul-level shifts. Now let's pause, because here's where Andy Andrews gets it right. While The Traveler's Gift isn't branded as a Christian book, every decision is steeped in biblical wisdom. Think Romans 12:2. Be transformed by renewing of your mind. That's exactly what's happening here. Each decision renews David's mind and yours, aligning your heart with the kind of character God can use. While we cover this, I'll bring in the scriptures, the faith, and the fire. The first principle: the buck stops here. I will take responsibility for my past and my future. David wakes up in the Oval Office, face to face with President Harry Truman. No fluff, no sympathy, just 4 words that flip David's world upside down. The buck stops here. It's not a slogan, it's a line in the sand. And the message is simple: your life won't change until you do. Stop blaming, start owning. Before this moment, David was stuck. He was fired, broke, feeling like a victim of circumstances. But Truman calls it what it is: excuses. Your job, your past, your upbringing, none of those control your next move. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. That shift from blame to ownership is the first domino. In Genesis 3, Adam plays the blame game. The woman you gave me, he says in Genesis 3:12. He blames Eve, then God. But scripture flips that on its head in Galatians 6:5. Each man will bear his own burden. Ownership isn't just smart, it's spiritual maturity. God works through those who say, I'll take responsibility and I'll take action. I am where I am because of decisions I've made. And if that's true, I can make new ones. The buck stops with me. This isn't about guilt, it's about authority. You don't need a rescue, you need a reset. And that starts when you stop outsourcing your power. Decision 2, I will seek wisdom. I will choose my counsel carefully. David Ponder wakes up in ancient Jerusalem. Golden walls, scrolls stacked high, and across the room, King Solomon, the wisest man to ever live, ready to drop a truth bomb. Wisdom waits to be gathered. She is there for the taking. That line reframes everything. Because people don't fail for a lack of talent, they fail for a lack of wisdom. And wisdom isn't passive, it's pursued. Just like you're watching this video, you're gathering the wisdom right now. You become who you listen to. Solomon warns David, your future is shaped by the voices you invite in. This echoes Proverbs 13:20. He who walks with wise men grows wise, but a companion of fools suffers harm. You want peace in your home? Hang with people who've built godly families. You want clarity in business? Get around faith-driven leaders who've walked the road. Your circle is either your ceiling or your catalyst. Pick one. Wisdom is also a spiritual pursuit. In James 1:5, it reminds us, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God. God's not hiding it. We just stop seeking it. David realizes every decision from this point forward must be rooted in counsel, not just emotion. From this day forward, I will seek wisdom. I will listen more than I speak. I will surround myself with people of integrity, and I will ask God daily for discernment. If this decision resonated with you, I highly recommend reading the full book or grabbing the audiobook on Audible. I'll drop a link below so you can dive in for yourself. You'll be glad you did. Andy Andrews unpacks the journey with a level of detail that's totally worth it. Decision 3. I am a person of action. I do not wait. I move. I seize the moment. Next stop in the book, Gettysburg. Smoke, sweat, gunfire in the distance. David now finds himself face to face with Colonel Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain, the quiet professor who became battlefield legend during the Civil War. And what Chamberlain teaches David is this: indecision kills more dreams than failure ever could. Chamberlain stood at the breaking point of history. His men were exhausted, outnumbered, and outgunned, and yet he charged forward. Why? Because hesitation was more dangerous than defeat. Movement creates momentum. That's the essence of this third decision. I am a person of action. If the enemy is confusion, fear, or overthinking, then your first weapon is movement. James 2:17 hits this hard. Faith by itself, if it has no works, is dead. God doesn't just call you to believe, he calls you to build, to step, to speak. Think about Peter. He didn't walk on water because he had perfect faith. He walked because he stepped out of the boat. God meets you in motion. And Chamberlain continues with the story, and he tells David that people often wait for the perfect plan, but the truth is, clarity comes from action. It's easier to steer a moving ship than a parked one. Action doesn't guarantee success, but inaction guarantees nothing. This is where most people stall. They want certainty before obedience. But God's blueprint is often revealed after you take the first step. I do not wait, I move. I seize the moment. I will act now because my destiny is too important to delay. If you've been paralyzed, this is your wake-up call. Stop thinking, stop second guessing, start moving. Decision 4, I have a decided heart. I will not waver. I choose with courage and stick with it. Now David stands above a creaking wooden ship, staring into the unknown. His guide, no other than Christopher Columbus, the man who risked everything on a dream that most of the world said was impossible. And here's the decision that fuels him. I have a decided heart. Not a hopeful heart, not a someday heart, a decided heart. Confidence follows commitment. Columbus didn't set sail because he had a perfect confidence. He set sail because he had his mind made up. That's the difference. Most people are waiting to feel ready, but ready is a lie, and feelings are fickle. Clarity doesn't create commitment. Commitment creates clarity. That's why God honors the deciding heart. It's not about arrogance, it's about trust. James 1:6-8. He who doubts is like a wave of the sea, driven by the wind. Let not that man think he should receive anything from the Lord. A double-minded man is unstable, but a decided heart, they're unstoppable. Let's give you another example. You can't lead with a maybe. Whether it's your business, your marriage, your calling, or your faith, half-hearted doesn't work. God doesn't bless indecision. He blesses faithful resolve. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Matthew 5:37. Make a decision. A decided heart doesn't always know the outcome, but it shows up anyway. It sails forward. Hey, really quick, if you're resonating with this and you're ready to make your own decisions with clarity and conviction, I put together a free resource called the 12 Laws of Faith-Driven Success. It's a quick download guide with the top biblical principles found in nearly every best-selling leadership book and success book that I cover, but rooted in scripture, and it's designed for people who want to build something that actually lasts. It's really slick. It's really cool, easy to read, easy to follow, and awesome. Just go to Zolane.com/12 laws or hit the link in the description. It's totally free. Check it out. All right, now back to the book. I am not waiting on the wind. I've made my decision. I have a decided heart, and I will not turn back. Next up, David meets a young girl full of light in the darkest of places and learns that happiness isn't a feeling, it's a choice. Decision 5, today I will choose to be happy. I will not let my emotions rule me. I choose joy on purpose. Now the scene shifts to a small room behind a bookcase during a war. David finds himself with no other than Anne Frank, a young girl full of life, laughter, and light, even while hiding from Nazis in a cramped attic. She's the very definition of this next decision. Today, I will choose to be happy. And it's not just poetic, it's powerful. One of the most important things to think about is happiness is a decision, not a default. Anne teaches David that happiness isn't found in circumstances, it's found in perspective. We think we need more peace to be happy, more money, more time, but Anne had none of that. And yet she said, think of all the beauty still left around you and be happy. That's not denial, that's defiance in the best way. Joy is a fruit, not a feeling. Happiness in this context isn't about pretending, it's about anchoring. Galatians 5:22 tells us that joy is a fruit of the Spirit. And Nehemiah 8:10 says, the joy of the Lord is your strength. And in the book, David starts to realize you can't wait for joy to show up. You decide to walk in it today. Stop letting your emotions drive your car. Anne reminds David and us that emotions are real, but they don't get to lead. And when you live by your feelings, you'll always be unstable. But when you choose joy, despite your feelings, you gain authority over them. This isn't toxic positivity, it's spiritual maturity. So today, I will choose to be happy. I'll smile when it's hard. I will laugh on purpose. And I'll carry the light even when the world is dark. If a teenage girl hiding in a war zone can find reasons to smile, you and I can too. And it's not easy, but it's available. And joy isn't a weakness, it's warfare. Now decision 6, I will greet this day with a forgiving spirit. I will forgive those who have wronged me and myself. David's final lesson before the end begins in the White House. Now with policy, both pain. He meets Abraham Lincoln, the president who led through war, betrayal, and unimaginable grief. And Lincoln gives him this: forgiveness is not a feeling, it's a decision. It's not about letting people off the hook. It's about setting yourself free. Bitterness to someone else doesn't punish them. It only poisons you. David realizes he's been holding on to regret, guilt, and blame like armor. But Lincoln makes it clear. You cannot move forward while dragging your past behind you. It echoes Hebrews 12:15. See to it that no root of bitterness springs up. Bitterness robs joy. It suffocates vision. It chains you to what was instead of what can be. And Jesus modeled it first. Forgiveness isn't weakness. It's kingdom level strength. Even nailed to a cross, Jesus said, Father, forgive them. That's our model. And yes, that includes forgiving yourself. You may never hear I'm sorry. You may never get closure, but you can choose freedom anyway. Forgiveness isn't about them. It's about you. I forgive, not because they deserve it, but because I need peace. So today, I challenge you. Today I will forgive. I will release the grudge. I will cancel the debt, and I will move forward, free and full of grace. This decision doesn't erase the pain. It removes its power. So decision 7, the final decision in the book. I will persist without exception. I will not quit. I will finish what I've been called to do. David's final stop is not a palace, battlefield, or an attic. It's in a quiet moment, a mirror, a question. Will you finish the race? Because wisdom isn't great. Decisions are powerful. But if you don't persist, nothing sticks. And we know that when things get hard, most people quit right before the breakthrough. The last decision separates dreamers from doers. It's the difference between starting strong and finishing well. David realized that life will test every commitment he's made, and not once, but repeatedly, over and over again. And here's what he chooses. I will persist without exception. No caveats, no loopholes, no unless it gets hard or unless I'm tired, just faithful, focused resolve. Persistence isn't about grinding harder, it's about anchoring deeper. Think of Noah. He didn't build the ark in a weekend. Or Joseph. He endured years of setback before stepping into his purpose. Kingdom success isn't microwavable. It's sown, watered, tested, and then harvested. Don't let delay break down your decisions. Now, David in the book understands this now. Your dreams don't need more inspiration. It needs more refusal to quit. I will persist without exception because I wasn't created to start and stop. I was created to overcome all challenges. So here's the challenge. I will press forward when I'm tired, when I'm tested, and when I feel like nothing's changing, because persistence turns decisions into destiny. You don't have to be the smartest or the fastest, just the one who will not stop. So these are the 7 decisions that will change your life if you let them. David Potter's journey wasn't just a story, it was a mirror. And if you made it this far, it's not by accident. You already make your own decisions. Now let's recap these 7 life-shifting truths. Number 1, the buck stops here. Take responsibility, no more blaming. Number 2, I will seek wisdom. Pursue wise counsel and walk the wise. Number 3, I am a person of action. I move first. I do not wait. Number 4, I have a decided heart. I commit fully and I do not waver. Number 5, today I will choose to be happy. I choose joy, not by accident, but by discipline. Number 6, I will greet this day with a forgiving spirit. I release the past and I walk free. And number 7, I will persist without exception. I finish what God calls me to start. Now, if you live these out, you won't just improve your life, you'll transform your impact. Not because of hype, but because these truths are rooted in biblical principles God already honors. And if you want help locking these in and making them part of your DNA, I want you to grab the free guide called the 12 Laws of Faith-Driven Success that I created, I talked about earlier. It's packed with biblical mindset shifts found in the world's top leadership books, but rooted in scripture and written for people who want to build something eternal. Just go to our website, zolane.com/12laws, or click the link below. Totally free, just clarity, scripture, and traction. And remember, I want you to keep moving forward because God did not create you to be average.